Driscoll. Sacked by Jarvis Jones.
Intercepted by Bacarri Rambo. Oh, my gracious.
Mitchell makes the catch. He breaks away. Touchdown!
Win the next two, and Georgia returns to the SEC title game. But Ole Miss has a dream of its own.
Touchdown, Ole Miss. It is good!
Will the Rebels continue their turnaround season, or does destiny carry the Bulldogs one step closer? We are between the hedges on an autumn Saturday. The Home Depot SEC on CBS. The 6th-ranked Bulldogs look to hunker down against the Ole Miss Rebels. $92,000 plus are ready on homecoming day as the Bulldogs are back relevant again with a shot at an SEC and possible national championship. Gorgeous day. Chamber of Commerce to be sure. 78 degrees. Wind will not be a factor. It should be a fast track. This is a series that's been dominated by the Dogs, although in 1996, a second-year coach by the name of Tuberville came in here and won a game 31-27. That was the last time Ole Miss won in this series.
Number 13.
Marshall Morgan is preparing to kick it away. Georgia won the toss and deferred. Randall Mackey is back deep, number 1 for the Rebels. Jalen Walton is also back there. 3 yards deep, and hitting a knee is Mackey. Wallace with plenty of time. That pass is caught. Threaded the needle on the corner to the tight end Allen. He's inside the 20 and down at the 16-yard line.
Well, this is a pass, Timmy, that should have been intercepted. In fact, I thought it was initially. Bo Wallace standing strong in the pocket as he does. He's got a big-time arm. But look at that right there over the outstretched arms of the safety. That could have been intercepted. Instead, it ends up being a huge play for Ole Miss. Furby Allen taking it down the sideline.
Sean Williams gambled and lost. Quick hitch going out to Sanders. And he's ushered out of bounds shy of the 10 at about the 12. Brandon Smith made the stop. 3rd down. Mackey now in the backfield. And he gets it. He can throw it. He's a former quarterback. He was looking to do that, but he's taken out of bounds. It was well defended by Georgia. Damian Swan coming over to knock him out of bounds. A loss of 6.
You're exactly right, Tim. This was definitely an attempted reverse pass to Randall Mackey, the former quarterback. Started 6 games at quarterback last year for the Rebels. Now playing more wide receiver, running back, but very well played by the Georgia defense. Mark Richt told us if he can prevent the big play on the gimmicks, that was one of them right there. He thinks they're going to be all right defensively.
Bryson Rose hit a career long last week of 53 yards. He was 3 for 3 in Little Rock against Arkansas. This 34-yarder splits the uprights. And the Rebels conquer the Dogs on the opening series, marching downfield with a 51-yard hookup to the tight end Furby Allen to set up Rose. We are underway. He is the top quarterback among active players in yardage and efficiency, Aaron Murray. And last week, a bit of a struggle, but when he needed to make the play, he did. And it's a signature victory in his career.
No doubt, but it was also one of the worst performances of his career. Fortunate to come out on top against a very good Florida team, obviously, but he knows he's got to play better for this team to win. The 6 turnovers against Florida helped tremendously. It goes without saying.
Doesn't hurt when you've got the freshman sensation Todd Gurley dotting the I. And he'll take the quick pitch. Headed to the wide side of the field, and look out. He turned the corner and has it out to the 42-yard line, 17 yards. Early the lone setback. Play action fake, pressure off the edge. Speed and quickness of number 10, C.J. Johnson. Out of the shotgun, Murray. Tackled again, this time off the blitz. Coming from the safety spot, Cody Pruitt, number 25, the sophomore from Bay Springs, Mississippi. Colin Barber will punt it away for the Bulldogs. Corbett Neat is back deep. He takes it at the 23. Has a gap. Look out. He stays on his feet. A whirling dervish at the 42, and he thinks better of it and goes out of bounds. Outstanding field position for the Rebels when we return. See, the play clock is down to 4. Wallace trying to keep the play alive is sacked back at the 40-yard line. Off the backside, Alec Ogletree with the first sack of the day for the Bulldogs. Gurley remains in at tailback, following Alexander Ogletree. He's out beyond the 30 to the 32-yard line, following the big fullback, a pickup of 8.
He's trusting his track, running up in there.
His roommate's not bad either. We'll probably see some of Marshall. This time he stopped in his tracks, maybe a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Nice work by Mike Hilton coming up. The safety, Cameron Wiggum, was the first to get there, number 55 for Ole Miss.
Yeah, and you got to make yards somehow against Alabama.
2nd and 16. Murray with the play fake, stopped at the 20. He thought he had the offsides turned into a procedure penalty, so now you're really backed up, and it's 3rd and long. Bennett coming up with the play there with the push. Georgia felt was their best game for their offensive line against the Gators. That pass incomplete, and again, really well defended by Ole Miss.
And again, really good pressure off the left side by C.J. Johnson.
And head back to Atlanta for the 2nd straight year. 3rd down and 5 for Ole Miss. Neat, the motion back, takes it. And he has a first down and then some.
A great call by Hugh Freeze here, but they run a little bubble screen. In the key block, you're going to see number 85, James Logan.
For now, Cornelius Washington remains at defensive end, and here's more pressure coming from him. Wallace with time, ad-libs and finds Neat along the sideline. Corbett Neat still on his feet and down at the 36-yard line.
This is one of the things that Wallace brings to you. He is so athletic for a big guy, and he throws on the run very, very well. He's got a strong enough arm to where he does not have to be set to make the tough throws, and he makes plays on the outside. When he scrambles, when it's a pass play called, he's not looking to beat you with his feet. He's looking to beat you with his arm with a play down the field. Right there's a good example.
3rd and 11. Wallace, a well-designed pass pattern. And Corbett Neat has been a favorite target in this game. He's got another catch, his 3rd of the afternoon.
Well, Coach Hugh Freeze has got a decision to make here. He's looking at a 48-yard field goal here with the ball on the 30-yard line. Yep. Remember, made a career long of 53 last week.
Yeah, but he loves going for it on 4th down.
I like the situation. I like him doing it here.
Allen, the tight end, in motion. There is Mackey. Right on cue, and he's got the first down. Oh, wait a minute. I think he may have been given a bad spot. It looks like he may be short. Yeah, he got the left foot spot, and I think that's short.
I was wrong with what I call Georgia played it discipline. I think they were looking to Mackey all the way for the screen. You're going to see him popping back right there, and you see the extra defender over there. That's something maybe Bo Wallace, maybe had he seen that a little bit more clearly earlier, he might have gotten out of that play because they had one unblocked defender out there. In the open field, you kind of like Mackey's, the odds of him making one guy miss, and he did. But fortunately for Georgia, they had more guys coming to help.
You know what? That was an excellent spot, though. I thought it was a left foot spot. It was, but it was accurate. The replay proved it. Keith Marshall in the game for the first time, the other freshman and roommate of Gurley. He's ahead for a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know, with the success that Todd Gurley has had in recent weeks, going over 100 yards, the only running back to do so against Florida this year, I think maybe this week we're going to get a chance to see a little bit more of Marshall take some of the pressure off of Gurley.
Well, let's see if that changes some of the momentum in this game. It had really been with Ole Miss, but they're only up 3. Wide open is the tight end Lynch. Arthur Lynch, I think we got our answer. Uncle Mo just went to the dogs.
Well, that's a play-action pass called at the right time. Right on the right, on the left-hand side of your screen, you see 88 Lynch, no one covering him, and Mark Richt told us, we've asked him why the tight ends have been kind of non-existent for the Georgia offense this year. He said, you might see a little bit of them this week. Right there, a good example. They popped him wide open.
This could be, well, it will not be, because I think we may have reached the end of the first quarter. Hang on just a second. The White Hats are going to talk about it. Georgia with only 17 yards total before that play to Lynch for 31 yards. That is the end of the first quarter with a score 3-0 Ole Miss. Will return to Sanford Stadium after this message and a word from your local CBS station. You're watching the Home Depot SEC on CBS. Marshall the lone setback. Murray again feeding it to him, and it's incomplete. As you mentioned, he had some trouble, and admittedly, there were some nerves involved.
Well, these were three really bad first-half interceptions last year. You can see all three of them should not have been thrown. They were based on indecision, not pressure from Florida per se. The bottom line were just bad decisions. Right there was one of the ones that sailed on him, and they were just flat-out bad plays. And fortunately, his defense stepped up last week. They found a way to win.
4th and 10. And on this 47-yard try, Marshall Morgan lets it go. Badly hooked. And the Rebel defense stiffens again. That guy's pretty pumped up. I'd say that Newt Rockne pregame speech has carried over into the second quarter. Wouldn't you? Wallace has hit his last 6 passes. Over the middle, that's the seam route we were talking about. Right to Logan at the 45. Between the hashes, that's where you're going to see number 85.
That's exactly right. Did a great job coming across the middle. That is what he's kind of known as. He's 6'3", 195 pounds, and the ball thrown on time, on the money. It was a perfect play call for that zone defense, and Jamez Logan found that hole. But Bo Wallace had no doubt where he's going with that thing.
Sanders at the bottom of your screen. Again, that quick out. This time it's Mackey. Randall Mackey forges ahead to the 30-yard line of the Bulldogs.
And that's a late flag.
Uh-oh, look out.
Where you'd expect a personal foul.
Sean Williams was over there for Georgia. And the officials are going to talk about it. Maybe getting a clarification as to which direction they want to go. Ken Williamson is our referee, the White Hat.
After the play was over, personal foul, defense 36.
It was Sean Williams.
15 yards, first down.
Well, let's see what Mr. Williams did here to draw that 15-yard penalty. Mackey just running straight down the sideline.
Yep.
You know, I'm sorry, I just don't see anything right there.
Yeah. It really looked as though Mackey delivered the blow.
Yeah, Mackey was not running away from Mackey's running down the sideline, lowered his shoulder.
He was out of bounds. However, it wasn't as if he initiated the contact. Mackey took it to him. Moncrief comes in as the 5th wide receiver. Over the middle to the tight end, touchdown, Jamal Mosley. The senior from Memphis, Tennessee. What a well-designed play by Hugh Freeze.
You know, this is where, as Bo Wallace says, Hugh Freeze shows his genius right here, creating a formation that puts all kinds of pressure on this Georgia defense. And you see Bo Wallace using his eyes, looking left, and then right down the middle of the field, Jamal Mosley. That's about as easy as it gets. In the SEC, you don't see receivers running that open that often.
Bryson Rose with the extra point. Wallace 5 for 5 on the drive to 4 different receivers. As Hugh Freeze said to his team, don't blink. Well, Georgia did, and it cost them. The Home Depot SEC on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. The Rebels and the Dogs getting with it. See if Murray can come up with an answer here. Why not give it to number 3? Gurley ahead for about a 7-yard pickup there. It'll be second and short. The Rebels answered the momentum challenge after going for it on 4th down. Georgia moved but was stymied, and Gurley is stopped shy of a first down by about a yard.
Well, the key, I think, Tim, right here is that Georgia is in no position to panic right now. We got 11 minutes left in the second quarter. They're down 10-0. These fans are very uneasy right now, but Mark Richt and Aaron Murray specifically has got to keep their team calm. They've got to stay with the running game, pound it up in there, throw some play action, make a few plays, and they're right back in it.
One of the most successful coaches in the SEC, Mark Richt, with his team 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. This is 3rd and short. Play fake, and it is wide open. Marlon Brown. Touchdown coming up. That was a home run trot, wasn't it?
That was a spectacular play call. Great hard play action. Extremely good fake carried out by Aaron Murray. You're going to see right there, right down the middle of the field, a good job by Marlon Brown. Just showing nothing special. Just came down like he was going to block the safety, and everybody came flying up for Ole Miss. As easy as it gets. The ball fake, the play action fake is what really was the key, though.
66 yards definition. Morgan's extra point, a little better than the field goal try. Fool me once, but fool me twice. Aaron Murray, that was just a beautiful play fake. Boy, did he sell it. Charles Sawyer bit, and it was bye-bye, baby. Bye-bye. Aaron Murray trying to have another date in the SEC title game.
He sees the field as a quarterback, does a great job with the football.
Wallace running out of time and sacked. Garrison Smith gets through, the 6'3", 295-pounder out of Atlanta.
Didn't play very well.
Wallace again on the check down to Mackey. Ogletree is going to hustle him out of bounds. Little John as well as pushing as they go to the Ole Miss sideline. They go empty out of the shotgun. Wallace, so resourceful with the football. Now throws, got his man, and he dropped it. Just inside Georgia territory. Neat had it, but could not hold on after contact. You're not exactly having to fit it into tight spots, are you? Misdirection. That ball's in the air and fumbled. Rebels come away with it. It looks to be Cody Pruitt, number 25, that got it after the initial hit. Ball popped into the air.
That was Keith Marshall, and that was a picture-perfect hit.
Kite and company.
By, yeah, we can't tell who that was that stuck his nose in there along with Kite, but there were a couple guys that put their nose right on that football. That's a big turnover at the right time for Ole Miss, the wrong time for Georgia.
That was Kimdichie, the leading tackler, the Tasmanian devil of this Ole Miss defense.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that was picture perfect. They always tell you to put your hat on the ball if you're a defensive player. That's exactly what happened.
He and Kite collaborated, and then it was Cody Pruitt with a recovery. And a great opportunity now for the Rebels at the 32-yard line of Georgia after the turnover. Quick slant is caught at the 20, and this one's on the deck. Fumbled and pulled away by Damian Swan. He may go the distance. Finally, Wallace takes him down. Vince Sanders had it and then dropped it. Number 10 for Ole Miss. What a turnaround.
This is exactly what they did last week defensively against Florida. Whenever their offense made a mistake, and they did, there were some turnovers in the red zone, backed up in the red zone. This Georgia defense stepped up and held Florida only to field goals, or better yet, came up with a turnover.
Bakari Rambo stripped it. Bakari Rambo, 18, the senior from Augusta. Watch this. Absolutely worked it right out of there.
Again, textbook. Coaches always say first guy wrap up. They had about 4 or 5 guys wrapped up, and then Rambo got his hand in there and popped it right out.
Well, the All-America safety had the big pick last week as well. I should mention that play made by Rambo was at the end of the first half against Florida last week. And Gurley set sail again inside
Ball
the 15. Ball on the ground at the 12-yard line. Ole Miss says they have it. Rebels say they have it. And we'll wait for the officials, and they do. How about this? Talk about changing tides, and that's the happiest guy on the field. 3 turnovers in the last 50 seconds.
Yeah, 4 plays, 3 turnovers. That's just another good strip.
I believe that was Nkemdiche again that started at number 4.
That was Nkemdiche, number 4, no doubt about it.
And Wiggum, the recovery. Watch this. 55 Wiggum being given credit for the recovery.
And Hugh Freeze and Ole Miss excited to get that ball right back. I watched that Cal Washington game last night, and it was the same thing. There were turnovers almost every play for one stretch of the ball game. Right here, you don't expect it out of these two teams. They're not teams that fumble the football very often.
The Rebels had not turned it over in the red zone all year. Off the blitz, Wallace gets away. Has time looking long for Mosley, the tight end. It's picked off at midfield. Alec Ogletree comes down with it. 4 turnovers in 60 seconds.
Well, Ole Miss tried to catch Georgia off guard. They tried to snap it before Georgia was set, and they got some good pressure right away off the edge. That forced Bo Wallace outside, and a bad decision out of his own end zone to make that throw. He had a good shot to just throw the ball in the flat. On 17 on the backside right there, that was again Mosley that had a chance down the middle of the field, but Bo Wallace was running away from him to the right sideline. It's a hard throw on the move to get it that far up the field. He had some safer throws right in front of him. That would have been the good call out of his own end zone.
Yeah, he saw him late. He was running free, but while he was, Wallace was running for his life.
Yeah, there was pressure on him. He couldn't get it to him.
3rd down and 2. Just over 5 minutes left in the opening half. Gurley trying to cut back. He's going to be shy of the 1st down. That's a wonderful play by Isaac Gross, one of the truly outstanding freshmen in the SEC, from Batesville, Mississippi, as a nose tackle going all of 2:55. And they are milking the play clock. Does get it off, and they will throw it. It's incomplete. Really well defended by Collins. Moving over from safety to corner, knocking it away from Malcolm Mitchell, and Ole Miss will get it back. Well, after the turnover fest, Ole Miss stops Georgia on downs, and here's Scott running the stretch play. Hammered by Bakari Rambo, who has picked up the pace for the Georgia defense.
Isn't it amazing how the playmakers find their way to that football? I mean, he closed that gap. I thought that Scott had the edge right there, and Rambo came out of nowhere with an authoritative tackle.
Had 5 tackles Rambo did last week against the Gators, plus a sack, and as we mentioned, an interception at the end of the half, his 1st of the year.
And that sack was the first drive of the game. Sack fumble led to the first score by Georgia.
That pass floated on Wallace just a bit, got away with one there, intended for Jamaz Logan. Pressure. Down the seam for Logan, incomplete. Well defended, Damian Swan again. Outstanding closing speed on the ball.
Georgia's kind of controlling the tempo more than Mississippi.
There's the blitz. Nice read against it. Gurley has it. And he's finally run out of bounds. Stepped out a little earlier back at the 49 of Ole Miss. 2nd down and 10. Murray. And again, the look-in pattern is there for McGowan. That's Rhett McGowan, the senior from Calhoun, Georgia, that's been getting playing time recently for the Bulldogs. 1 timeout remaining for the Bulldogs. Murray waits for his man, and he flies wide open. Lentavius Wooten. He's got the ball at the 25-yard line and another 1st down. Trey Elston made the stop. Everything's quick, but not quick enough that time. Blitz coming, and then help up the middle from Isaac Gross. There was help coming off the edge, but Gross got there before E.J. Epperson. 2nd and 17. Trouble again and sacked. Back at the 40, now they're really going to let him have it. Everything was moving too slowly for this 92,000 plus crowd.
The problem that Georgia has, they cannot get a first down unless they pick up 25 yards, so they've got to throw it to the sidelines.
Murray in some trouble, flushed. Look at that, wide open, touchdown! Tavares King! That'll bring the crowd around.
That is an absolute backbreaker for Ole Miss. I have no idea what they were doing in that situation. They let King get wide open down the sideline, and I just didn't think Aaron Murray would have enough arm strength to get it out there, but he proved me wrong. He got it out there. I saw him running free. Cannot understand the busting coverage by Ole Miss.
Again, a reminder, this is a young secondary to start with. They're without Sinquez Golston. They're without Wesley Pendleton. They're patchwork back there, and they're awfully young, and they showed it here.
This was nothing fancy. Aaron Murray was just trying to keep the play alive a little bit. It was a straight two-deep coverage. The safety got caught up inside. That was the freshman, Trey Elston, who got pulled inside and could not get back outside to cover the outside half of the field. A great play by Aaron Murray.
Fantastic throw by Murray. And he's a happy camper now. And frankly, they needed that because it was going to be a rough halftime after what had happened the first 40 seconds there.
They've got to let that freshman know you got to stay deeper than the deepest and give yourself an ability to make the break inside or outside to make the tackle.
Elston was completely turned around.
He was. He had his shoulders squared up inside, could not pivot and get out quick enough. I think they should have played a 3-deep type of coverage or even 4 across in what we would call a quarters look to not let someone get behind you like that and put so much pressure on the young safety.
Boy, this has been a whoosh the last 10 minutes of this game, hasn't it? 14 unanswered now for the Bulldogs. Well, that squib is taken by the tight end Allen, and he's going to be knocked down at the 37, and we've come to the intermission. Tavares King with the big touchdown reception to close out this half and really change the mindset as these two teams make their way into the locker room. But it's going to take a lot of points, one would think, to win this football game. All right, Marty, that's the end of the first half. The Georgia Bulldogs with a 14-10 lead. Now let's go to Adam Zucker in our New York studio. Adam? And remember, against Alabama, the Ole Miss defense acquitted itself nicely. There's a nice catch by Brown and a missed tackle that was costly by Elston. He just whiffed, and Brown made him pay. 17-yard pickup. 2nd and 7. McGowan right in front of DeHendrick Collins, who's playing that corner position, normally a safety. Again, forced into that because of the loss of Golston. 1st and 10 from the 42 of Ole Miss. Pressure on the blitz and looking long from Mitchell. Touchdown. They picked on Collins again, and Murray made them pay.
I'll tell you, Tim, we have the Georgia coaches right next door to us here, and Mike Bobo about jumped through the roof when he saw Malcolm Mitchell get the nice release on the outside. Had a great release against DeHendrick Collins, and what a great throw by Aaron Murray. Bobo was yelling for him to get it up, and he did right on the money. Perfect throw.
Morgan for the extra point. Three touchdown passes in this game, all over 40 yards for Aaron Murray. Malcolm Mitchell in man coverage, just a go route. There he went, and DeHendrick Collins had no answer for him. Aaron Murray with the big play, and the Bulldogs extend their lead to double digits between the hedges in Athens, Georgia. Wallace's pass for Jamez Logan. It's on the ground. Is it incomplete or a fumble? We're going to rule it incomplete. Brandon Smith with the pop, and Ole Miss will be forced to punt. Took the wind out of Ole Miss's sails at the end of the first half, and then to open the second. On the check down, he gets it to Marshall. That's another first down. This Ole Miss interior has handled themselves nicely today, but the secondary has taken its lumps. And right away, it's Marlon Brown again. Inside the 40 at the 35. Easy pickings now for Aaron Murray, and Brown is hurt. Trey Elston with a stop. That's 10 different receivers now for Murray. That's a 30-yard gain. Listen, this is how Georgia's taking control of this game. They have the last 11 first downs. It all really began with the turnover fest, and then ultimately it led to that incredible touchdown relinquished by Ole Miss to Tavares King to close out the half.
And that, I think, is really, we're still seeing the after effect of that. And Brown, hope he can get back in this ball game. He's having a super day, over 100 yards receiving, but Ole Miss has got to start turning the tide here.
Murray caught. That's Rome, the tight end. Well, Mark Richt told us yesterday, and so did his offensive coordinator, they're happy with these tight ends. They think they can get the job done with them. Lynch is the motion man, the tight end. And right up the gap, Ogletree, touchdown.
It's fairly clear that nobody on the Ole Miss defense was expecting Ogletree to get this ball. He ran right by everybody before they even realized that he had the football. He is a blocking back, a true fullback in every sense. I think all eyes were on Gurley, and what a great call by Mike Bobo once again.
Morgan's extra point is good. Georgia's fourth touchdown on a third down play. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Georgia by 18. I'm old enough to have a really good handle on the replacement for Archie, but I must admit, Eli, that's a different story. Barry Brunetti has come in at quarterback for this drive for the Rebels. And this is a very important sequence here for Ole Miss.
It really is. A touchdown. You still got over 9 minutes left in the third quarter. A good drive here with a touchdown puts them right back in and gets their confidence back up and makes them believe they can get it done.
Yeah, they got to find a way to keep their defense off the field. Brunetti ahead for a healthy gain of 7, maybe 8. Alec Ogletree wrestles him down. Brunetti in traffic. Loses some ground and fumbles the ball on the way out of bounds. Taken out of the air by Swan, and he's down at midfield. Just what you could not afford to have happen.
Are you kidding me? I have never seen a play more bizarre than that in my life, I don't think. He was right on the sideline. No one hit him. It was almost like he was tossing it to the... He just lost control of it.
He was stretching to try to make the first down and simply lost the handle.
Not related to anything anybody else did. He just lost control of the football.
Second fumble.
Swan said thank you very much.
Second fumble recovery for Swan. I know that hurts you, Steve, but
that hurts badly.
But this was a trap game weekend. It really was.
Lou Holtz called it and predicted this was going to be a tough one.
Here's Murray now on third down to Marshall. Yet another whiff at the sideline, and he may have enough. Did he step out of bounds? I think he may have. At the 45-yard line.
Mark Richt told us that he is just naturally strong all the way across the board.
Colin Barber's boot. Fair catch call for it. That was a mistake by Neat. He did not get over to it, and the ball bounded inside the 5, and now Ole Miss will really be backed up. It would have been tough for him to get there on the angle that the punt was coming from, a 49-yard boot.
Just ask Florida how much he can affect the ball game.
Jeff Driscoll knows. A dangerous move here. Scott not out of the end zone. That should be a safety. It is. Alec Ogletree. One Ogletree a touchdown. Another says, I'll see you, and take the deuce.
Well, that's another one of the issues with the spread offense, and Hugh Freeze will admit to this, I'm sure. when you get backed up in a situation where you've got to run the football, it's just not conducive to it. This is a bad decision, though, by Jeff Scott. You can see the outside leverage by Ogletree and also safety support coming up by Brandon Smith. He's got to tuck that ball up inside, just get it out of the end zone. You can't try and bounce it outside when you're backed up in your own end zone against a fast defense like Georgia. I mean, look at that. Can't get out there.
And Mitchell from his 17-yard line. Ahead to the 37, so a 20-yard return. Third quarter winding down, and while Georgia's taken control of this game, remember how fast this Ole Miss team likes to play. They simply need to get some field position and have something positive happen, and happen soon.
Well, with the 20-point lead, we're going to see Georgia do more of what they're doing right now, I believe. Pounding up in there, keep that clock running. Their defense is playing so well right now that Bobo and staff got to feel pretty comfortable.
We've come to the end of the third quarter. And we'll return to Sanford Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the Home Depot SEC on CBS. Kansas State's got a lot of football to play. And Oregon, hello, they still have a few games to play, plus a conference championship game. I think there's a very good chance that everyone could have a loss. And your chances perhaps against a one-loss LSU or a one-loss anyone might be better than dealing with an undefeated Alabama.
Well,
if you're Georgia.
You're exactly right. I mean, that is 100% right. But I think in his mind, he's looking at it saying, practically speaking.
Oh, yeah. It's easier because you know you're playing number one. We'll get that part.
Right.
Look at that. Gurley set sail right up the gut. First down inside the Ole Miss 30. That's a tired Rebels defense. But what action from that offensive line, just blowing away the Rebels here. Second down and 3. Murray looking for the fade. He's got it. Touchdown. Rentavious Wooten. Just take it to the post corner and let it go.
This was a double move on the outside, and it was just this is the best throw of the day, in my opinion, from Aaron Murray. He's thrown a lot of good ones today, but right there, he put that ball up before the receiver came out of the break. It was a double move on the outside, and it was perfectly thrown by Murray, and a great catch by Wooten.
That's that old saying, and Drew Brees talks about it often. You got to throw your receivers open.
That's confidence.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what Wooten was doing. He was patient, put the ball up, trusted it. Wooten ran a great route on the outside, and that's how you score.
He may be a graduate student. He's also a graduate quarterback today, that's for sure. Ball at the 20-yard line, and Barry Brunetti will come back into the game at quarterback for the Rebels.
And I think he's probably the only quarterback we're going to see the rest of the way. I think Ben Wallace probably did get bumped up as he was coming.
Yeah.
You could tell something was wrong as he was coming off the field last time.
And he needs a healthy Bo Wallace the rest of the way. And in this offense, you know your quarterback's going to take a few hits. Well, Jones just said welcome to the game to Jalen Walden.
Yeah.
2nd and 15 for Brunetti. And then Walton is greeted in a hurry by Georgia's Brandon Smith, who has really been lights out with hits today. He's caused a few fumbles with some of them. 3rd and 14, and Barry Brunetti in some trouble, decides to step up and airmails that one over a wide open Vince Sanders.
Well, and the other thing I think is really important from Georgia's standpoint, Mark Richt told us he didn't feel like his team had come together and played their best game all 3 phases so far. They played very well on occasion offensively, very well on defense. Special teams has been there, but today I think this is the most complete game they've had.
Richard Samuel IV, out ahead to the 37. We would like to say happy birthday to our audio man, Jay Willis. Happy 50th birthday, Jay. Welcome to the club. And congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs, Mark Richt, just one game away from yet another SEC Eastern Division title. As he looks for Hugh Freeze, he has great respect for Hugh. Thinks the world of the job that Freeze has done in his initial year at Ole Miss, and still just one victory away, the Rebels, from bowl eligibility. 37 unanswered points after trailing 10-0, 384 yards for Aaron Murray. For Steve Berline and Marty Snyder, this is Tim Brando saying so long from Athens, Georgia, where once again our final score, 37-10 Georgia. Don't forget in primetime, 8 p.m. Eastern, it's the showdown in the SEC. Number 1 Alabama with number 5 LSU. The Jeep postgame show is coming up. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the SEC Championship. We'll send you to Adam Zucker right after this.